Okay, so back over onto the bench. As you can see, we've got one of the miniatures just set out by this is actually the back section of the castle. So I'm going to pan out now quite slowly, so you can actually sort of see where we're going, and you'll actually start to get the general overall size of this castle. So that's about as much as I can fit in this frame shot. As you can see, that's quite now a very small miniature over onto there. So I'm going to just actually just pan you around. So this is half complete. This is the back half complete. There's still the front half to go. And that's the other column there. So that's how it's looking at the moment. I'll talk about the diagonal wall sections first. So this is one of the diagonal wall sections, and what I've actually done here is, inside here is I've cut the shape of the actual tower, and then that's the angle. The reason why I've gone for foam core on the wall sections is well, there is no scientific reason why I went for it. I just much preferred it. I just find it easier to work with than the actual foam with cutting and things like that. I think there might be a little bit more strength to this after it's all finished. Obviously there's nothing in the middle of it at the moment, so it's a bit flimsy, but that's going to be covered over in 6mm XPS foam, so I can get all my textures and stuff on the front of it. So I'm going to put that back over there, and it slots in really nicely, as you can see back over there, and the seams seem to go pretty well. Obviously I've still got the end sections over here. These have still got to be shaped out for the actual towers. The towers over here, and these are still going to need to be grooved out themselves, and the same over here as well. These need to be cut out as well, and I'm going to then I'm going to line everything with the XPS foam and put my patterns on it to the same sort of brick effect, copy them onto the actual towers, and then we're getting somewhere close to actually starting to look like a curtain wall set for the actual castle. Further thoughts on it is, on top of here, obviously these are at the moment, unfortunately I'm not sure on how much height that I can get out of this. Let's go, that's it. That's as high as I can go with the actual tripod. Obviously at the moment they're hollow. The sections for those have been cut, which will slot inside. So they'll pop inside, and then they'll get pinned. I'm not going to do that yet because I want to put some form of support inside those as well. Then I'll texture them, and then after that, then we've got the actual ramparts to work on too, because obviously it's going to have like all the funny shaped sort of ramparts across the top. Looking at some of the pictures that I posted on my intro video, some of the ramparts are completely square, and some of them are actually sort of battlement in shape. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a mixture of the two, or just keep it one or the other. I'll get to that point when actually I'm doing it. I think some of these ideas actually come to you like further on down the line on what's actually going to look better. I can certainly do some tests with some of the materials just to see what sort of thing that would actually look okay. I thought I would take out one of the cavalry models as well, and I'll give you like a close-up down there. You can tell it's it is quite a substantial sized castle. The one thing about the castle is, from in a game of actual Warhammer, it will actually take 4 turns as a march to move from this point here to this point here for standard infantry. So an 8-inch move is going to take 4 turns to get from one wall to the other wall. Most of my games on a siege is normally between 8 and 10 turns anyway, so that's, well, as long as it's half. The way that I'm looking at it is, if I can move an entire unit from one side to the other over half the game, I'm quite happy. But obviously there's going to be a big something in the middle as well. 9 times out of 10 there's not going to be very much inside the castle anyway, unless it's reinforcements ready to go up onto the walls, from like down the bottom to the top. And we can say that it'll actually take 2 turns to get to the actual top of the, well, it's 7 inches up, so 4 inches up is like 3/4 of the way, and then final you'll probably be standing actually on the battlement on your second turn. So again, it'll be quite, that's probably quite realistic. And I think I'm going to have to start now thinking about what sort of pattern I'm going to do down here. My next really big challenge is these actual swooping, the curved walls, the actual sort of swooping wall sections. I was originally going to try and make them out of expanded polystyrene, but I'm not 100% certain now, due to now I know that how this cut is going to be. It could prove to be a bit complex. Now I've actually had a go at doing some of them. So anyway, I'm going to leave that just like that, and I'll speak more to you on day 5. So take care guys, happy wargaming, stay safe.